It is Friday night in Phoenix, and you're listening to Phoenix's premier Geek and Nerd podcast. It's the Absolute Geek Podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Kyle.
And tonight with us, we have a special guest. We have Sam, the movie mechanic. He is a article writer and contributor to the Couch Crunchers website. How are you doing tonight, Sam?
Hey, I'm doing great, guys. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Sure. I get stoked when we get visitors on the show.
So, I'll let you do it in your own words. Why don't you go ahead and kind of explain to our audience exactly what a movie mechanic is?
We've all seen movies that were like, they started off with so much promise. And at some point, you're just like, ugh, why did they make those choices? I probably had about 15 or so of those moments watching Suicide Squad. And I was like, someone needs to just go back and fix those little moments and make this movie better. And so I was like, well, I might as well be the guy that does that. So I started going back and trying to fix the disappointing parts of movies, and they kind of become these new, better movies in my head so that I can live with the fact that the crappy one exists. And I've done Suicide Squad, which is a really good one. I'm really proud of that. The most recent one, I was doing a kind of ending swap of different psychological thrillers like Shutter Island and 10 Cloverfield Lane, and this kind of obscure, I think it went straight to DVD, Paul Walker deal called The Lazarus Project from like 2009. And it's just like swapping their endings to see if I could come up with something better. But I love movies, and I just want to see the ones that have kind of a kernel of something good and turn it into something that is watchable. And I would love for, in my mind, these movies actually exist. So that's the idea behind Movie Mechanic. You got a crappy movie, let's turn it into something good.
So with Suicide Squad, what was your movie mechanic of Suicide Squad?
Okay, the one thing about Suicide Squad that bugs me so bad is they bring Katana in, and they make this big deal about her sword that steals people's souls, right? And the villain, Enchantress, is this soul that steals people's bodies, and it's like, wow, if only we had something that could trap a soul in it, it would be perfect. And they never use it. It like never comes up again that you've got this perfect like Ghostbuster trap, and you just stab the girl with it, and suddenly Enchantress is sucked into the sword and she can't get out. It seems like such a no-brainer, and it never materialized in the movie. While I was watching it, I was like, oh yeah, okay, so that sword is going to be what they use to finish the job, and it never happened.
Yeah, you're right. They never ever went back to it. They mentioned it. They did it so that you had a little backstory on her, and then it was out.
Never happened. Yeah. So that was one of the things. And then the other thing I really focused on was, if you were going to be part of the cast, you had to be useful on two levels. You had to be useful to the team within the movie, which is bad for characters like Boomerang or Slipknot, who don't really bring any special skills. I mean, throwing a boomerang is fun and all, but he doesn't really do anything for the team. The other thing that they had to do was they had to have something important to the story. So it forced the team to be important on both those levels, and it kind of focused the story on Deadshot and Harley Quinn because they were both useful to the team and important to the story. The other thing I really focused on was, if they were going to be a Suicide Squad, everyone had to die at the end. Seems like a no-brainer that it had to be an actual suicide mission. It seems like all they got was a few bumps and bruises, but everybody was okay in the end.
One of the reasons Slipknot was in that movie was just so someone could get their head blown off. That was pretty.
Yeah, right. He's like the red shirt guy from Star Trek, the original series. You remember those guys that go into the planets and get immediately disintegrated. That was Slipknot.
Like, what was that one movie with Tim Allen? God, I can't think of it right now. Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy Quest.
Remember, he was like, "Hey, I'm the." You remember when what's his name came up and he realized that he was red shirt guy.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't go in
Sam
this.
Rockwell.
I'm gonna die. I can't do this.
That's one of my favorite movies, man. I love that movie.
But so, what would you do different? You would make sure that they used the sword, and what else would you have done different? Because I know what I would have done different with the movie. But what would
you?
First off, I would have made it one movie instead of smashing two fucking movies together.
Oh yeah,
a light and a dark. I kind of would have went with one or the other, and kind of, you know what I mean, made more of a flow to it. And second off, since I am a Jared Leto lover, I would have had a lot more Joker in it, and I would have changed him just enough so that everybody else can see what I see with Jared Leto.
Well, the pants off.
Yeah, pants off and jacket. And
sorry, I'm a little late.
And Jose's here.
Yeah, sorry, I'm a little late. I fell asleep.
Oh well, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, the thing about Jared Leto is if he's not the main villain, you kind of want to save him for later, don't you think? Because there's really a lot that Joker does. And I felt like he had as much impact on the story as Batman did, despite having 10 times as much screen time.
Yeah. I could see that. I wish they would have had him in more. I think they would have had him in there more. I think even if he wasn't the Joker, but if the Joker was in it more, whoever would have played it, I think it would have made the story better. Because it just seems like when people have the Joker, they have, like, it harnesses this writing creativity. Like he's an easy character to have these awesome storylines with. And I think if they would have used him to more of a potential, I think they would have made the entire movie better.
Yeah, I think if Joker is even going to be in the movie, he has to be the main villain. He has to. That's how much of a commanding personality he is. And he was relegated to like background story in this movie, and so it took away all the impact that he had.
It would have been cool if he actually would have saved the day.
Jared Leto.
Anybody but Jared Leto.
If it was like Heath Ledger or Joaquin Phoenix, I totally agree. But
I think Heath Ledger would have stuck. He would have stuck the joint up.
Jared Leto was a terrible Joker.
Bring back Jack Nicholson. He would have done no better job.
Even if they would have not used if they still would have used Jared Leto, but maybe lightened up with the Jared Leto with the Joker that they had created for him, I think it still would have been better. And I think it would have been cool if he would have saved the day. If he would have came in at the last second and like he actually helped them save the day, that would be a cool ending to the movie.
Yeah, but that's not what he's known for, saving the day.
Well, he's kind of known for this element of chaos that he brings, right? And so, I mean, that does seem very Jokerly to just decide to be the hero for once.
The chaos of saving the day. Because, the aftermath of what it created, and now they really don't know what to think of the Joker. Next time they see him, they would have made another movie with him in it. They would have been like, is he going to be good? Is he going to be bad? Who the fuck is this guy? What are we going to do with him? oh, fuck it. It's not Jared Leto, so it doesn't even matter anymore. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, right. Tim Bolt said in the chat. Tim Bolt in the chat says, if only the Joker didn't look like a guy who worked at Hot Topic.
Exactly.
Oh.
No, he's Spencer's 100%. That's don't bring down Hot Topic. That's Spencer's 100%.
He was hired at Hot Topic and got rejected and works at Spencer's then.
The Joker with stretched earlobes.
Oh God.
He got fired from Hot Topic on the second day.
He wasn't angsty enough.
I remember when everybody wanted to work at Hot Topic.
I did when I was in high school.
I did too.
But that's back when they had good music and it wasn't so stupid looking.
No, it was the same. It was just stuff that we liked then.
Exactly.
That's what it was. Now you walk in there and you're like, what the fuck is going on in here?
What's playing and what's all this shit?
And then they call you
Hey,
sir.
take it easy.
Oh God.
Take it easy. My kids love Hot Topic.
Yeah, so do mine. I've had to spend many of Hot Topic spending excursions.
With their kids.
Yeah, my kids love. They love that My Hero Academia anime, and Hot Topic has shelves and shelves of My Hero Academia clothes.
No, you don't need that $65 Harry Potter wallet.
Break apart in 6 months.
I remember when Hot Topic used to sell comics.
No.
They used to sell Johnny the Homicidal Maniac there, and they used to sell ICP comics there, and they used to sell different, like, it was more indie comics, but they used to sell comics there because that's where I used to get. I picked up a bunch of Johnny the Homicidal Maniac comics.
That must have been your local branch.
Maybe.
I don't remember Hot Topic ever selling comics.
Yeah, near
But
the
then I only ever really went to Hot Topic for like wrestling shirts because that's where you could get them before they started carrying them at Walmart and all over the place.
Like they used to sell I used to get all the Insane Clown Posse comics from there. That's how fucking cool I was, motherfucker. Yeah.
You rolled up with your makeup on and buy the hottest new ICP comic.
Yep. With my Juggalo fucking face paint and my
and your hatchet.
and my hatchet.
He would sit there and try and talk to the cashier about it, and they're just trying to call security to get this Juggalo out of here.
They're trying to. Hey, that's before we were labeled a gang. Oh, fuck.
Man, I've watched the Juggalo videos. Like, there's a documentary on them. Oh my God.
It's fucking crazy.
I cringe and I feel so bad. I'm like, I hope Kyle's not a part of this. Like,
Whatever.
genre. Like this part of it. It's cringy.
Well, nothing's as bad as that Juggalo stunt kid who's like Juggalos for life, and then he jumps off the second rung of a ladder into a pile of leaves.
Oh my God, where's that? I gotta see that.
Oh man, Tosh.0 did a whole story on this kid. He's like jumping off the second rung of an A-frame ladder onto a pile of leaves or onto a mattress or something.
He's 2
like
feet
that's
off
the
ground.
level. Yeah, yeah. Like that's the level of insanity he can handle. Is I only 2 feet. I'm not diving in all the way yet. Just a little bit.
Baby steps.
Well, I mean, it's crazy to see a band like ICP and see how much they've been involved in, though. Like music and comic books, and they were huge in backyard wrestling in the early 2000s, and they kind of transcend a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't the lead singer? If you take the makeup off the lead singer, isn't it Guy Fieri?
Guy Fieri.
Yeah, it's
The process tips.
that's how he makes extra money.
Frosted Tips.
He goes and tries cheeseburgers at places across the country.
Have you seen the video of Shaggy Two Tone trying to, or Shaggy Two Better?
Shaggy Two Tone.
I don't know what his fucking name is. What's his name, Kyle?
Too Dope.
Oh, sorry, Shaggy Two Dope.
You know his name. You're from their state, motherfucker. Don't
Trying to drop kick Fred Durst off the stage.
No.
There's a
He probably missed him because
he did miss him. He did miss him. They're touring together right now, and Fred Durst was on stage singing, and he comes running out and tries to drop kick him, and completely missed.
ICP is on tour with Limp Bizkit.
And Fred Durst turned around and said, "See how much that's how bad they suck. He can't even drop kick anybody right."
they're like 40, 50 years old now.
Yep, and you had Fred Durst
Walker
on you.
Oh my God, ICP and Limp Bizkit, the ultimate '90s concert.
Oh God.
I gotta buy tickets.
They're playing the State Fair.
Yeah,
They're playing the State Fair. Then I'd go to the State Fair and see them. Pay my $8 or $13 or whatever it is to get in the fair this year.
Have they reopened the State Fair yet since it's been underwater?
Yeah. They pumped all the water out like that night.
Did they?
Yeah.
Because I know,
you gotta have.
By me is closed because it's all underwater.
Yeah, they pumped it all out.
Yeah.
Buddy.
Nothing says ICP like a state fair and fried Twinkies.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be a crazy night at the fair.
And smelly, hairy women drinking Faygo soda out of a red
Oh,
solo cup.
there you go.
That's actually good soda. You know that, Matt.
I like some Faygo. I'm from Michigan. I dabble with the Faygo. I'm not gonna lie.
Like I used to tell you, I would make my grandparents, because they lived in Indiana, so you could, that stuff was all over the East Coast. You know what I mean? In the Midwest, they drove a van because they would load up everything, and they were snowbirds. And I used to make them load up like as much as they could fit extra in their van of Faygo, and they would actually go to the 99-cent stores and fucking load their van up with Faygo and bring it all the way back to Phoenix for me so that I could have fucking Faygo in my refrigerator. Talk about
all right. So
that's grandparent.
Yeah,
love.
what's your favorite flavor of Faygo?
Rock and rye.
Dude, the root beer is fucking awesome.
Nah, for me it's cola, rock and rye, or red pop.
Their Mountain Dew version was fucking awesome too.
I love their cream soda.
Cream soda's good.
That was the good stuff. That was good stuff.
It's good soda. That's why I was stoked when the Quick Trips here were selling them in their, like, you could buy them out of the coolers in Quick Trip for like 2 years. I was fucking stoked, and then they fucking stopped like a bunch of assholes.
Yeah, now they're only selling tickets to a 970 million jackpot for the Mega Millions.
That rolled over to $1 billion today.
$1 billion.
It's $1 billion right now. It's $1 billion.
I'm gonna have to go buy some tickets.
Some of the signs, they actually had to go like put a B over the M for like the ones that weren't digital.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's only what, 1 in 302 million.
No, it's way worse than that. You're off by about 100,000.
And I think if you wanted to win, if the odds of winning the Powerball and the Mega Millions, it's 88 with 25 zeros behind it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you wanted to have a 1 in a million chance, you'd have to buy 322 million tickets.
Let's start putting ours together. Let's go.
Yeah, let's get a pool.
Heck yeah.
I could contribute $20. $20 to our Powerball pool.
Damn, you must be rich. I was gonna say 5.
It's $2. It got to be an even number, pal.
2.5 tickets. That's all I got.
So, what are some of the other movies you've done a movie mechanics on?
Let's see. I did a kind of Justice League movie mechanic when they first announced that Henry Cavill might be leaving the DC universe. It seems like they're still in the rumor zone with that too. But I basically did a what if scenario if they did get back to Man of Steel. Now, I personally like the first 2 acts of Man of Steel. I don't like the last act where it's just toppling towers like a terrorist. Superman is just this really hunky Jesus, and I thought, stick with the biblical theme and you'll be fine. And that was kind of my treatment of Man of Steel.
I don't think I've ever heard Superman referred to as a hunky Jesus.
No, me neither.
Oh yeah, if you watch that movie, it's like going to church, because there's this scene where he's sitting in the church talking to the priest, and he's got the stained glass window behind him of Jesus, like praying. And if you don't get it then that he's supposed to be Jesus, then I mean, you've never been to church, I guess. But and at the end, right before he goes and kicks Zod's ass, he's like, he makes a T pose like he's on the cross or something, and he flies down to earth. Yeah, he's basically Jesus in that movie. But they do make a point that he's a very hunky Jesus.
He is kind of hunky though, so I do get that.
I've never put that comparison together.
The hunky Jesus?
Oh yeah.
As many times I've watched that movie, I've never made that comparison.
Here, let me blow your mind a little further. Then, Batman v Superman came out Easter weekend, and it features Superman resurrecting while he's in the tomb, right? Came out Easter weekend.
So you calling him Zombie Superman?
No, not Zombie Superman. He's resurrected Superman. What I thought they should have done is instead of...
Are you talking about Batman Superman or Justice League? Because I don't remember him resurrecting in Batman Superman.
No, you remember he's buried, and then the dirt kind of like levitates off his coffin a little bit.
That's Justice League.
No, that's Batman v Superman. In Justice League, he comes back.
Yeah, at the end.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right.
Because you remember they're he's in his coffin and they're doing the whole thing, and they're going down the road and.
Yeah. Okay. At the very, very end. All right. I got you. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it would have been better if they had brought Superman, just allowed him to resurrect on his own, maybe with the sunlight or something, rather than have him be brought back to life Frankenstein style. I think they needed to stay biblical, and I think that's a good place for them to go in the future. Is after Jesus hangs out with the mortals for a while, he goes off into space, and I think that's the same thing that hunky Jesus ought to do, is go fly off into space and hang out with the other Kryptonians. There's that what's that small city, the tiny city, Kandor. He could go out, find Kandor, and bring back a whole army of angels or Kryptonians to fight Apocalypse and Darkseid when they show up.
He comes back as Superman the White.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Never made that comparison. That's interesting.
Now the next time I watch it, I'm gonna be like, it's hunky Jesus.
Yeah. Another one that I did, the one that's kind of been brewing for a long time. I don't know if anybody even remembers this movie, but there was a movie that came out in 2011 called In Time.
Yeah, I love that movie. I love that movie.
Yeah. Justin Timberlake and Amanda Seyfried, they had their arms.
Yeah,
you guys remember
that time? Yeah.
Yeah.
So the ending was okay. Now I think the problem is that nothing really changes at the end, right? They just kind of Bonnie and Clyde, Robin Hood characters stealing from the rich, giving to the poor. But it's a sci-fi movie about a post-apocalyptic future. So why would anybody want to live in that future? And I thought they needed to make a way out of the day-to-day grind. And they had left this kind of hanging thread of Justin Timberlake's father being this great arm wrestler, and then he just kind of disappears. And they don't ever talk about what happened to him. Yeah, you assume that he died arm wrestling, but they don't really say. And I was like, well, why don't they bring him back? But his arm is missing. The arm with the clock is missing. And he's an old man. And so he's kind of escaped the whole grind to begin with. He's free to live the life he wants. He doesn't have to live day to day working for his daily 24 hours so that he can buy his coffee and keep grinding. Instead, for a small price of his arm, he's able to live to old age free of the constraints of that whole post-apocalyptic society. And somehow Justin Timberlake and Amanda Seyfried get the opportunity to make that choice as well, and they cut off their arms, and then they're free to live a normal human life, but just with one hand.
Wow.
You really dive into this stuff, don't you?
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
So what are your thoughts? The movie
Go ahead.
Down.
Which one?
Falling Down.
Falling Down?
Yeah. With
Michael Douglas?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Forget about Falling Down. Let's talk about Groundhog Day.
Oh, geez.
All right, do it. Go for it.
All right, so you see the movie and you think it's about this guy who is reliving the same day over and over again, but it's not. It's not about one guy. That movie is about anybody who has ever held a job.
Right.
Every day you go back and you relive the same damn day, day after day, day after day. It's the same thing, and the stages that he goes through in that movie are the same stages that people go through with respect to their jobs. He starts out, he's just trying to figure out what's going on. That's like the orientation period, right? And then later on,
Orientation period.
and then later on, he's trying to figure out the little loopholes. Can I take my smoke break? Can I take an extra 5 minutes for lunch? And then it evolves into absolute desperation to get out. And so he starts trying to kill himself to get out of it, see what he can do to get out of it. And he finds out that no one cares. You still got to come back and work every day. And then eventually he gets to the part where he gains some expertise and he gets really good at his job. And finally, when he gets it right, he retires the next day.
Kyle, what stage are you at?
I don't think I can ever watch Groundhog Day the same again.
Right. Did you ask me what state I'm at?
What stage are you on right now?
Me?
No, Kyle.
Yeah,
I'm
Kyle,
in
where are
pure
you at?
desperation. I'm in pure desperation.
Yeah,
Oh my.
I am too. I guess that's what you call. Yeah, I'm pure desperation and and depression of it. Oh no, this is my fucking life.
You're stuck in Groundhog Day. Hey, we all are.
Yeah. What
Every
am I gonna
morning
do
I
to
say
get
that
out
when I
of it?
wake up. The moment my alarm goes off, I'm like, oh, this is my fucking life.
God damn it! I woke up again.
Sonny and Cher playing on the radio.
You would go to sleep
Get it started
praying
all
for
over
the
again.
sweet-
Mine's a goddamn Channel 12 traffic. Ah,
You go to sleep praying for the sweet release of death, and then you wake up again. You're like, not again.
you motherfuckers! You let me wake up.
Damn you,
again.
death. I just want another stroke.
What?
So I can be off for another 6 months.
Walk
paid.
outside.
Oh,
I hope my car was stolen so I don't have to go to work today.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
have
so
that
that's kind of
problem,
a
too.
depressing. That's kind of a depressing one, but there's a better one. How about the Santa Claus?
Oh no.
The
Oh,
Santa
no.
Claus is the story of one kid's dad who tries everything within his power to preserve the magic of Christmas. That's every kid's dad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but not every kid. Well, yeah, because every kid's dad is technically Santa Claus. Sorry if
Yeah.
you're listening to the show and you still believe in Santa Claus.
Sorry
but
for your
Matt, you're a
for
fucking
listening.
dick. You just fucking ruined
I
it.
did.
Someone don't get.
I
Now
did.
he's fucking crying.
That's
Now
all
we
right.
just lost. We just lost one of our 4 listeners. You're
Hey,
a
look.
dick.
Look, it's a hard world, all right? There's
Lost
hard truths that
25%
have
of
to
our
be learned.
listeners.
25% gone right there.
Just like that.
There's some hard truths in this life that need to be learned, all right? And that's
You
one
know-
of them.
You know what I always told my kids when they would start kind of being like, "How does Santa make an Xbox?" And I was like, "I'm gonna be honest with you. If someone's gonna bring you shit for free, believe in it forever.
Yep. It's nice.
Just don't question it. Just be happy that fucking some imaginary motherfucker sneaks into our house because normally we'd shoot them, but one day a year we let some motherfucker in our house so that they can give us shit. Just believe in it.
Yep.
Just
There's
believe
one
in it
day
for
a
as
year
long
that
as you can.
breaking and entering is perfectly acceptable,
Yep.
almost welcome, and nobody thinks twice about
Because
it.
if that shit happened on the 23rd, you'd shoot them.
Yep.
I mean, the
That's
23rd,
true. Oh yeah, that's
23rd
true.
or the 26th, man. That guy, Santa'd be over, man. He'd be outside. You'd be talking to the cops. The fucking medical examiners would be fucking whistling fucking fat ass Saint Nick away. I mean, one night, man, we're like, fuck it. Just let some random ass weirdo in our house.
Comes back, I forgot my wallet, and you just unload on him. Yep, you're right. You're right, Tim. The Tooth Fairy is fake, also.
Hey, man, listen. You're going too far. Now, let me tell you something. Life goes in phases. First, you believe in Santa. Then you don't believe in Santa. Then you are Santa. And then you look like Santa.
There you go.
I'm in the looking like Santa stage.
Lance K in the chat says, I tried to tell my son Santa likes beer and hot wings, not milk and cookies.
Right? Milk and cookies. Fuck that.
So,
son, Santa likes hookers and blow.
we were talking to you a little bit today and before the show, and other than your movie mechanic, you've written some pretty big articles that some celebrities have caught wind of.
Oh yeah, so the whole thing that got me started on movie reviews was I went to a movie with my wife back in 2012. We went and saw this movie. Maybe no, it wasn't that. It was a musical, and it starred Hugh Jackman, Anne Hathaway. It's called Les Mis or Les Miserables.
Yeah, Les Miserables. Les Miserables.
Yeah, we're doing much in the movie. That's how I went.
And I was sitting next to this. I was sitting next to this girl, and she starts like singing along, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, can you not?" I'm watching
this movie anymore. Sorry.
Yeah, right. And it bugged me so much that she was singing along with the movie. And
was she like belting out, or was she like kind of like sort of like under her breath singing?
It was both, right? She's like, in her heart and soul, she thinks she's this Broadway superstar, but she wants to keep it under wraps so she doesn't get kicked out. So she's basically just singing to me, and I can't take it. I'm just like, shut the hell up! I cannot do this.
I wish somebody there would just shut the fuck up. Would that have been?
I was like, I didn't come to pay you to sing. I didn't pay to see you sing. I want to see Catwoman.
Right.
Catwoman and Wolverine sing.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. So it bugged me so bad. I got on Facebook and I write this little thing about it, and like towards the end, I'm like, well, I might as well review the movie while I'm at it. And so it's like Wolverine is on the run from Catwoman because Wolverine's on the run from Gladiator because Catwoman had a baby at Borat's house, and she wants Wolverine to take care of it. A bunch of people get shot, and in the end, everybody dies. 4 stars. and like the internet loved.
Sorry.
Hey, yeah. So the internet just freaking loved it. My friends started reposting it, and then somebody put it on Reddit, and then George Takei put it on his Facebook, and it got shared like probably 10 million times over the course of 3 weeks.
Wow.
And finally, the fervor kind of died down. I wasn't really thinking about it too much. And my brother-in-law calls me up about a month after I had originally posted it, and he's like, hey, you need to tune into the SAG Awards right now. And I turn it on, and it's Hugh Jackman and Anne Hathaway, and they're reading the joke from my review. Wolverine is on the run from Gladiator. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just won the internet.
Awesome.
No way. Did you pee a little?
So look all that.
Did you get a boner?
I said, did you pee a little?
Yeah, I peed a lot. I had won the internet, and you can still look all that stuff up. My review's still on there. It's Sam Richardson, Les Mis review, and you can still look up the video on the SAG Awards. The only downside is I was just hanging out the other day, and I was on Twitter, and this guy had stolen my review and put it in his book, and then was using my review to sell his book.
No way. You called him out, right?
I did. I was like, I wrote this in 2012. Why are you putting it in your book? You need to stop or pay me royalties. And sure enough, he's peddling this book. The guy's in the UK, and he stole my review. So if you buy his book, you're helping a thief.
What's the book called so everybody knows not to buy it?
I don't remember the book, but the guy who writes
That's a shitty title.
He goes. The author goes by the name West End Producer.
Ugh.
And I don't remember the book, but he stole my review.
So did he put it like in like a forward, or was it like the opening to a chapter, or what do you mean he put it? What was the book about that he could put it in there?
The book is about movies. It's like Broadway goes to the movies or something, where it's like musical movies or something like that. And he said he didn't give me any credit. He's like, and
Fuck
here's another
guy.
way of looking at the 2012 Les Mis movie, and it's the very thing that I wrote. And I was like, oh my gosh.
So like it's word for word. He didn't even put in an extra the or an or a comma in the wrong spot or nothing.
No, it's not verbatim, but it's definitely my idea. I mean,
similar.
I can find by him, or everything you always wanted to know about going to the theater but were too slow to ask, or everything you always wanted to know about acting but were too afraid to ask.
No, it's neither of those. There's another one. Something about Broadway going to the movies, but that's the guy. Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Wow.
He looks like a Pixar villain.
He looks like a Pixar villain.
He does. He looks like a Pixar villain.
So all we have to do is get Buzz Lightyear in, and he could fucking take care of it.
Oh yeah.
Unless this is like a makeup that he's wearing or something, but he looks straight.
I don't think so.
Like a Pixar villain.
That's fucking
Very
funny.
specific.
That's the most accurate description.
That's a fucking cool.
That's the most accurate description I've ever heard.
All up until somebody stole your shit. That's probably that's one of the fucking coolest stories. Like, just to write something, and then all of a sudden it explodes to the point of like that's crazy.
Yeah,
it was fun. Everybody loved it, and I had a great time.
I just posted a picture of him in our chat from this morning, and I want to know if that's the right guy.
That's the guy. Yeah, he looks like freaking
villain.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I feel bad picking on him because it's like picking on the handicap. But
wait, that's his real face?
That's him.
Is that a mask?
What the fuck?
No way.
He looks play face, dude. I'm telling you.
He's got a fucked up dent in his forehead.
Or he has horns growing out of his head. That's not fully formed.
That fucking poor guy.
Oh,
no wonder why he's stealing shit.
What the hell? That looks so fake.
It does. Like that's what I said.
Yeah, there's no way.
Mad fake.
Almost like he's wearing like a mask.
Yeah. Like one of those real masks.
Oh yeah, that could be it. Like the one where Bryan Cranston wore the Walter White mask to Comic-Con.
Right?
Because he's an anonymous person. Like nobody knows his real name. Like that's his whole thing is that he's anonymous. Yeah. So I wonder if maybe it is some kind of like stage makeup or mask or something.
I bet you it is.
It looks like it.
He doesn't want Sam to.
Yeah. What if it's really? Yeah. What if it's really Daniel Craig?
He's really playing that part.
It's really Wolverine.
Yeah, right.
That's crazy though. So nothing.
A real life Pixar villain.
That is. So none of your other. So have you ever tried to like to like write something that hope that it gets that attention. Like, like now you've had your number one hit. And does it always, sometimes it feels like when you write these other things, are you trying to like reproduce that hit? Like you're trying to get another gold record on the fucking wall or something?
Oh yeah. I mean, I totally am always trying to recapture that magic, but it's the kind of thing where it's a combination of real life accident with just the right opportunity and the right turn of phrase that just it resonates with people in a way that is hard to manufacture. It's got to be natural. It's got to be accidental almost.
Because I imagine like the next couple articles that you had written were like you write them and you're trying to like write them in that same style, but you're like, no, now I don't want to catch any flack for I'm copying myself and I'm trying to, so now you're were you trying to find yourself like using a different play on words to like make it work or?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You could see how well Hunky Jesus took off.
Were you trying to be Len?
I thought it was a big hit. I liked Hunky Jesus.
Well, then we'll get it started. We'll try and fire that one up, but I think the ship has sailed on Hunky Jesus.
I mean, hashtag Hunky Jesus. Let's do it.
We'll do the Hunky Jesus campaign. See if we can get
like
Henry
the boss
Cavill
from
another
The
movie.
Incredibles. That's who he fucking looks like.
Yeah, he's out
like
there.
Mr. Incredible's boss from The Incredibles.
Oh yeah, that's it. The guy he throws through the freaking wall.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
What's his name?
The
Gilbert
boss.
Humph. Name's Gilbert Humph.
Oh my
boss from
god, he does.
Incredibles.
He looks like the boss from The Incredibles.
Oh man, that's perfect.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's a great story.
That is a fucking awesome story. Like you had everything. You had excitement and you've had anger and you know what I mean. And now you're living up. You're trying to live up to this gold record now and this your one hit wonder. And oh man, that story's got everything in it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a has-been that never was is really what it is.
I mean, to get George Takei, because it rhymes with toupee, to retweet to reshare it, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty good. You can still look all that stuff up. It's just my favorite was this guy in Australia did a poster to match my review, and so they've just taken the Les Mis configuration and they put in Wolverine and the Gladiator, and they did the girl from Mean Girls where she's like in the rain touching her boobs.
Did he at least send you a free poster? I mean,
oh, it's free. You can just look it up on the. It's funny.
Let's say you should have that framed it on your wall.
Yeah, but technically you were part of the SAG Awards.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Like every time I felt bad about myself or I had a rough day at work, what I would do is I would go home and I would turn on Wolverine saying that. And that would totally change my whole day around.
That's right. For 1 month, the whole world was on the same page as me.
I would do it every time I felt sad.
It's like Pokemon Go, but with writing.
That's a fantastic movie poster.
That looks like our Star Wars poster.
Oh, they
almost
found it. Yeah, it looks almost like our Star Wars poster.
Oh, did you find it?
Yeah.
That's how awesome it is. We can Google you that fast. That's something that's attached to you. That's fucking cool.
I think it's pretty cool.
No, it's not pretty cool. It's real fucking cool.
Yeah,
it's definitely something to hang your hat on.
Yeah, I still talk about it in all my job interviews.
Oh, yeah, I would make sure to always work that. Always work that in.
That would be like the top thing on your resume.
Tell me something about yourself.
Well, there's one time.
Wolverine talked about me.
I don't mean to name drop or anything, but Hugh Jackman.
No, I would always just say Wolverine.
Wolverine. Catwoman
Hugh
and Wolverine.
Jackman.
And then this guy that looks like the boss from Incredibles copied me.
One time, Wolverine referenced something I wrote.
Oh, man.
Another thing you're telling me about is American Ninja Warrior.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
you guys
actually run the Ninja Warrior course?
Oh, yeah. So let me start over. Let me start at the very beginning. So I got married in like 2005. And in 2005, there was this obscure cable channel called G4. Yeah. And they started running. Yeah. And they started running a series called Ninja Warrior. And it was this Japanese show, and they had dubbed it. And I thought it was going to be kind of goofy like MXC. And I mean, I loved MXC from Spike. You guys remember that show?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
MXC is fantastic.
But these people were in it for real. I mean, it was a legitimate competition. And they had Olympic gymnastics guys in there running, and they were losing. And it's like, how hard is this obstacle course that Olympic gymnasts are failing at it? And I was like, man, I would love to get a chance at running this. And fast forward a few years, and I've gained a few pounds, and finally, no, it was all fat. Like my wife got pregnant. My wife got pregnant, and all we ate was like pizza rolls. Yeah, with the first kid, it was like, all we ate was pizza rolls and Frosties for like 9 months.
Sympathy weight.
And I gained like 40 pounds. And so
my first kid was Jack in a Box tacos.
They call that cat food on a tortilla.
Oh, they're fucking awesome.
Dude, they're so weird, but they're constantly craveable. Who knows what's in that stuff, but you gotta have it.
Soy.
It's not meat.
It's
that like cow meat?
It's food. Soy and meat flavoring.
Or it's like Taco Bell and it's just shredded up cardboard.
Okay, so you saw Ninja Warrior. I remember when it was dubbed, and you said,
which course did you run? Did you run the one in Japan, or did you run the American Ninja Warrior course?
All right, so fast forward a few years, and they announced they're going to start doing American Ninja Warrior.
Okay.
Where Americans will get a chance at the Japanese course. And I was like, dude, I got to do it. So I start working out. I start losing weight. I worked out probably 6 hours a day.
Oh,
and
wow.
it was like 2 hours in the morning, and then an hour at lunchtime. And then I'd work out 3 hours after work.
So you're in your office, and it's lunchtime, you do 150 fucking push-ups or what?
Well, there was this little park down the street, and I would go to the park, and I would do like obstacle training. And it was like,
you're fucking throwing little kids off the slide in the monkey park. So
I'm like, move it! No.
Get the fuck off the slide, kid.
He wraps around other kids on the Mars until they fall and start going.
He monkey bars. He grabs them with his feet. And he throws them off, and he keeps going.
I was living in South Bend, Indiana at the time, so it was really nice in the summer, but in the wintertime it was all covered in snow. And my audition tape I had to film in like January, so I posted that on YouTube. You can still look it up today. Sam Richardson, American Ninja Warrior, or A&W or something like that. And you just see me running on this obstacle course I created out of a park. The video quality is garbage. My wife was filming, and like the camera angle flips from landscape to portrait halfway through, and it's really dizzying. But it got me on the show, and I go.
Wait.
So
sorry. I have to interrupt. Were you like the guy from Napoleon Dynamite that trains? Was it like that?
Rex Bondo.
Yeah, Rex Bondo.
No, my other arm.
Pants like that. American flag pants.
Never mess with the guy with American flag pants.
Do you think anybody wants a roundhouse kick to the face when I got these bad boys on? I don't think so.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's exactly how it went. That's exactly what it was like. So I get on the show, and what they're doing is they have this qualifying round in Los Angeles, and so I fly out to Los Angeles, and they give me a number, and I'm number 40, and number 39 is this guy, and he's got a T-shirt, a black T-shirt with like a horse on the front. And he turns around and he's like, "Hey, man." I'm like, "Hey." And he goes, "Hey, I need you to do me a favor." And I was like, I don't know you, so it's really going to depend on the favor. He's like, "Well, see, I need you to kick me in the balls."
No way. No.
Yeah,
way.
I was like, "Bro, I got to tell you, that doesn't sound like much of a favor." And he's like, "Well, I'm the king of nut shots. It's my gimmick." I was like, "Okay, so that's your job? You get kicked in the balls for a living?" He's like, "Yeah, I post videos on YouTube. It's really popular. People love it." I was like, "Wow,
Steve-O from Jackass? Jesus."
No, his name is The Horse. He goes by The Horse, and he was on America's Got Talent. But before he was on America's Got Talent, he had me kick him in the balls. So we're standing there in line. I'm just like, "Gosh, is there a downside to this? I don't know. Yeah, okay, I'll do it. I'll kick you in the balls." He goes, "Okay, when we get up to the start, I'll give you the cue, and you just let me have it, okay?" I was like, "Okay." And we're standing around, and then I don't know if you guys know who Sarah Underwood is.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But she's a former Playboy bunny, and she was hosting a show, or she was like a correspondent on a show for G4 at the time. And she was interviewing interesting competitors, and she comes up to the Horse, and she's like, "Oh, Horse, oh, you're here. I can't believe it. Can I kick you in the balls?" I was like, "Oh my gosh." I was like,
he was true.
He's for real. He's for real going to get kicked in the balls by a Playboy bunny. That's amazing. And he's standing there, and he just drops his drawers right there. He's standing there in his dirty underwear, and she lets him have it. She kicks him, and she kicks him 2 more times. She kicked him 3 times. I was like, "Dang, wow, that just happened." Okay. And they hug it out, and I was like, "Okay, well, she kicked him. I'm good. I don't have to kick him anymore." And he's like, "Well, no, that's for a different show. I need you to kick me. By the way, she kicked me in the right testicle. Can you kick me in the left?" And I'm like, "Oh, my left or your left?"
He's got to keep it even.
Right?
And I'm like, "My left or your left?" Jeez. And so we get up to the starting line, and he goes, "Okay, let's do it." And I'm thinking, okay, lean left, and I kick him. And he goes, "Oh, you missed. Do it again." I was like,
"How hard
again?
did you kick him?"
How hard did I kick him? So yeah. I played football in high school, and I kicked him as hard as I've ever kicked a football.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, kick me in the balls.
And so he says, "Kick me again." And so I kick him a second time. And he goes, "Again." Okay, here we go. Number 3, kick him again. Boom. And he's like, "Dude, kick me again."
Kick me like you have a pair.
And so I kicked him a 4th time.
Start, you got a running start. Please tell me by round time 4 you got a running start.
Well, I'm like enough of this lean left shit. I'm just gonna kick him. I'm just going straight up the middle. I'm just going to kick him straight up the middle.
Did you do the 3-step drop and then they'll step to the side like NFL place kickers?
Oh yeah. I was like measuring my steps. I'm like, okay, this one's going through the uprights. Here we go.
He's gonna taste his balls when he's done.
I kick him and he goes, "Oh, that was a good one."
He actually felt it. Good job.
And he kind of trots off to the starting line, and then the camera guy turns around and he's like, "Wait, did you guys already do it? I wasn't filming. You got to do it again."
Oh,
that sucks.
So you got to kick this dude in the nuts 5 times.
5 times. 5 times I kick him in the nuts. And he goes off and he does pretty well. Like there's 6 obstacles and he gets through 5 with no problem. But then on the 5th one, it's like these giant monkey bars.
His balls start to
hurt. He falls down, or he lands on the landing pad, but he kind of falls backward into the water. And if you touch the water, you're out. And so he steps in the water and he's out. And he's so mad that he jumps up and he spreads his legs and he lands on the scaffolding holding the water in. And he racks himself right in the balls again.
Dude.
And it's like, oh my gosh, that's freaking amazing.
He must always have blue balls.
Blue and purple.
But then it was my turn to run, and my foot was so numb from kicking him so many times that I couldn't keep it out of the water. It drooped and tipped the water, and I was out on the very first obstacle.
Oh, that's what he did.
So
he
there
got
was
in your head. He fucked with you.
Yeah, that was one downside. The other downside, and no one really talks about this, but when you kick a guy in the balls, make sure you're wearing steel-toed shoes because otherwise you feel his balls on your feet.
Oh.
You get
teabagged your foot.
You had another man's crusty balls on your foot.
Yeah, dude, just think about that.
After the Playboy Bunny hit his balls too.
I don't even know how you could do that, man. Because even a tap out for at least 5. Like I'm on the ground, fucking wishing my life was over for at least 5 minutes.
Oh,
you can take 5 to the ball. Well,
no,
actually 7
8.
because you took 2 from, or 8, yeah, because you took 2 from the other girl.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you want to see that video, that is American Ninja Warrior groin kick.
That's awesome.
Oh, man. Good Lord.
That story is still number 2 compared to your first story.
my stomach hurts just thinking about that.
Oh, his stomach hurts because his balls are still in him.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing that makes your butt kind of pucker up, you know?
Yeah, right?
Makes your butt pucker, makes your balls hurt. Oh. That's awesome. That's fucking awesome. Yikes.
Yeah.
Hey, Jose, you should let us do that to you.
What?
Huh?
No way.
Dude, Jose can't even make it through life without getting some uphill. So I don't think you need to kick him in the balls or anything.
Life has already kicked me in the balls.
Yeah.
A couple times.
Hey, you need to start kicking life in the balls.
He needs to be like Jake Gyllenhaal. He needs to take Jake Gyllenhaal's place in Bubble Boy 2.
Bubble Boy 2, starring Jose Chimichanga.
Bubble Boy 2 means guac.
with a side of guac. Oh man, and then that's it. You never tried for American Ninja Warrior again?
Well, I did. I did it the next year, and I was supposed to do it with all my siblings. I come from a big family. There's 8 siblings, and 7 of us were going to do it. But at the last second, so this is the first year it was on NBC, and at the last second they switched our city from LA to Dallas, and none of my other siblings could make it. So I ended up going by myself, and I did actually a lot better on the course, but not good enough to make it on TV for more than a couple seconds.
Oh.
Tim in the chat said, Bubble Boy 2, it's personal.
Now, do I have guns in the bubble? Or
Bubble Boy 2, stroke of illness.
No, you've got a reservation at Manuel's.
Man, that's some crazy stories, man.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
We fucking suck compared to your stories.
Yeah, right.
Well, it's the kind of thing where you just like, I'm going to take a chance no matter how much time it takes or how much money it costs. And there's only a couple chances you get in your life like that. So I'm glad I did it when I did it. I couldn't probably do it anymore, but it was a lot of fun back then.
Heck yeah, man. Life stories.
Yeah, right.
Good stories, yeah.
Bubble Boy 2, it's personal. That is so fucking.
Dude is still letting people kick him in the balls.
I bet.
He is. That's how he's trying to stay relevant. But I mean, how many times are you gonna watch a guy get kicked in the jimmies before you're like,
I heard
let's see what else.
I heard you moved to the taint. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you think you'd have to like come up with new ways to do it to make it entertaining.
Kick me in the butthole.
Oh no! When I see Mole Man get hit in the balls, it's funny. From The Simpsons.
On The Simpsons, every episode he's in, he's getting hit.
It never gets old.
Nope. It's like farts. They're always funny.
Yep.
Was that episode of Family Guy where it's like they got that prank show, You've Been Kicked in the Balls?
Like Idiocracy?
Yeah. Good Lord.
Yeah, you can still look that guy up too. His name is Nasty the Horse.
Nasty the Horse.
Yeah, I think Jose posted it in our other chat. He posted, I think Steve-O kicking him in the balls.
Yep.
Jeez.
Gotten some famous people kicking them. Or
one of the best ones I saw was when he had a mixed martial artist kick him in the nuts.
Oh, jeez.
Wow, fuck that. Oh.
Yeah, no thanks.
Balls hurt now. Yikes. How are you going to transition into this one, Matt?
I don't know. It takes a pro, doesn't it?
Well,
speaking of balls.
No, here, let me tell you. You guys were talking about Ben Affleck shitting on his movie, and I was like, dude, when you lay a bomb like that, you just gotta own it. And it's like me kicking that dude in the balls. I mean, I didn't get it anywhere on Ninja Warrior, but I'll own that ball kicking story forever. You know,
get a lot of miles out of it.
Own your past. Don't hate it, man.
Well, speaking of Ben Affleck, and yeah, he's talking about Ben Affleck finally came out and said that Daredevil was a silly movie, which I think everyone pretty much agrees on. But,
there's silly aspects to it, but it's not.
That's what he's talking about. It's not like a funny haha movie, but just the way it was done is silly.
Some of it is.
Yeah, but you got to think about the other stuff that came out at the time. I mean, that was the same year when you had Ang Lee's Hulk movie.
Yeah.
It was par for the course.
Yeah, you had the Matrix sequels come out in that same year.
Ugh.
Oh, you got Hulk nipples and Hulk poodles and Ben Affleck as Daredevil all in the same year, huh?
Yeah. So it's like, you know, it was par for the course. Everything that came out that year was the same quality. It was all silly.
It was all silly.
Well, speaking of Ben Affleck and Batman, it looks like DC is trying to double down on the Batman root stuff now.
Oh my God!
By coming
the next Batman movie, we're going to see Ben Affleck's dick again.
No. Like coming out and saying that they wish it never happened. They wish they never put him, you know, his unit in Batman Damned. And
they're fucking liars.
I was sitting, and it's caused a lot of backlash, and I think they're doubling down big time. And because now they're having a story where they're changing Dick Grayson's name from Dick Grayson to Rick Grayson.
Well, hang on. So you're just gonna skim over the Batawing?
Yep. They're trying to double down on it. It was too big.
It was too big. It was girthy.
Yeah, they're trying to double down on it, and now that they're saying it wish it never happened. But I was sitting there thinking the other day when I read that, I was like, this isn't the first time DC has done this. Like, what about Dr. Manhattan and Watchmen? Like, he walked around Wang out, and nobody complained then.
Because it's blue, it's all right.
Well, well, this one you could barely see. It was like a shadow.
It was like a. It was like a. It was in between a silhouette and being able to see it. There was definition there, though. It was a little bit. It was past shadow.
Yeah, but so it was the same way for Dr. Manhattan. Just because it was blue, it makes it acceptable?
Yes, because it's not real.
Because it's not real. Batman isn't real either. He's a fictional character. Character.
I totally pictured Ben Affleck doing that, too.
Yeah.
Fucking playing the little piano and fucking doing the walking thing.
Yep. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
So I'm not actually to that issue of Batman yet. So 2 issues ago that I read was where Dick got shot in the fucking face. And did you read it? Did you read that issue of Batman?
Yes.
And then did you read the last issue of Batman, at the issue after that of Batman?
No, I haven't.
Where Batman is on this fucking holy crusade because he knows who did it. So now he's like in Russia torturing like people from like the KGB and shit, and he's like he's finding out who did it and he's going after him. You know, and it's but I didn't get to. So did the new issue where he calls himself Rick?
No, that's in Nightwing 50 is when that happens.
So I have that. I just haven't read it yet. Then
he becomes Rick Grayson,
and it's because of being shot from the Batman.
Yep.
So I'll have to read that one then, because
he makes a new identity and becomes Rick Grayson.
I think something's gonna come around where it's something else. That's fucking. Yeah.
It seems like the name Dick is kind of outdated. You know, I mean, everyone when you call someone a dick, that's not a bad thing, or that's not a good thing. But for Dick Grayson, it's like grandfathered in. You know.
Well, it's unique. It makes him stand out, I think.
There's a new Dick in town. It's Rick.
Yeah, calling him Rick is like it's like putting Superman's red briefs back inside his pants. You know, it's like trying to update the character, but you take away part of the essence of that character.
So you said Nightwing, the new
Nightwing 50. Yeah, it just feels like
I'm gonna find it right now.
After all of that BS and the fallout from that, and I'm saying, oh, well, we wish you never did it, and I'm just like, it was in Watchmen. It's just because it's 2018. Everyone wants to be offended. Like, being offended is like the new cool thing to do. So everyone wants to be offended. So that's why it's such a big deal. But they're gonna double down now and be like, oh well, maybe we should change Rick Grayson's name, or Dick Grayson's name, to Rick Grayson, or Richard. But it's like, why? Why are you gonna? It's just grandfathered in. Like, like you said, it's been around forever. It makes him unique.
Yeah, it's part of the character. Like, you can say, "Oh, that guy's a dick," or you can say, "That guy's a Dick Grayson," and it's like totally different thing.
And I think a lot of it went to that people were putting his face over Batman Schlong when they were looking at the image of it too. So when you look at the edited version, it's Batman Schlong with Dick Grayson's face over it.
Well, that could change it. Yeah,
Is
sure.
that you, Jose?
Yeah.
You goddamn mother.
What? No, it's
pills, bro.
No, it's my
Mijo, you gotta take your pills.
I got a new phone, and I got this the what's it called, the thing that goes over the screen, and they put it in like a plastic bag. Yeah.
It sounds like an annoying wrapper.
They put it inside a plastic bag. I don't know why they put it in a plastic bag.
It sounds like you didn't bring enough to share with the class.
He didn't, exactly.
I'm not going to share.
Yeah, he doesn't care. Jose never shares anything.
Nope.
That's why I don't know if you saw our last episode, but he's gonna be buried with his comics because he don't want people touching his shit.
All right, I'm done.
But right before we went on the air and started recording, I guess Netflix came out and announced that they have decided to cancel yet another Marvel series, and they have canceled Luke Cage. So
another one by
season 3 of Luke Cage. Yep.
You know,
one gone.
I hate to say it, but I gotta agree with that decision.
Which one did they take away?
Iron Fist and Luke Cage.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, those are both terrible.
I do feel kind of bad for Iron Fist because I really loved the last two shots where I mean, spoiler alert right here, but where Iron Fist and the other girl have their weapons and their fists are lit up and the weapons are all lit up. Like I was really excited about that. I was like, why didn't we start with that? That was freaking awesome.
Well, I still have a feeling that that show will be revived. I have a feeling Netflix is canceling these, and they're going to be picked up on the Disney streaming service.
Yeah, I mean that seems inevitable.
But it seems like a lot of these. I mean, it seems like that's what they're going to do because they're the two lowest ones. They weren't that well done.
The rent was horrible.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'll be interested to see since Daredevil season 3 just came out today. I'll be interested to see how well that does, and see if that makes it through. I'm expecting Jessica Jones to get canceled. Like I'm slowly expecting all these Marvel shows to get canceled at Netflix because Marvel wants them on their streaming service.
Who said that they hadn't seen Punisher?
Punisher's good.
Someone in the last podcast said they hadn't seen Punisher.
Yeah, that was me.
Dude, that was actually a good one.
Yeah, that was really good.
I've just never cared for the character. Just never have.
Well, this will change.
Yeah.
It'll
change your mind.
The character, and I've always held a grudge from him in the Ultimate for shooting Peter Parker and killing him, being ultimately the reason Peter Parker dies in the Ultimate Universe. Bastard. That bastard.
Wow.
Yeah, his name's Rick, and he's a cab driver.
Yep, there you go. I'm glad that you took the time to flip through that.
You're welcome. Rides a motorcycle, plays pool. What happened to Dick Grayson? He got shot in the head. That's what they say.
Yep, he sure did.
Oh.
The Making a Murder season 2 came out.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it came out today. It's pretty interesting how they did it.
The first season I watched nonstop, start to finish, and I was like, let's go break this guy out of jail. Let's do it. Let's do it right now.
But yet he can't get out of jail. Even when he gets his shit thrown out, it gets overturned. Like it's so weird. This poor guy's luck.
Well, his nephew's out of jail. They let the nephew get out. But the guy who was convicted, his hope is actually worse now after the show than it was before.
Steven, whatever his name is.
Tyler?
Yeah.
I wonder how that happens because I mean he looks. It makes him look completely innocent in the show.
Well, I mean,
like in the second season at the start, I'm not going to spoil anything. I guess Netflix documentary or whatever who did it left out some important pieces.
The ones that make him guilty.
That should have made him guilty if you actually watched all the other pieces. And they were talking about this lawyer who's gotten 17 other guys who were mistaken for murders off. So she wanted to help Steven through all this. And that's as far as I gotten.
Yeah.
Well, she's been doing appeal after appeal, and they just keep getting turned down or rejected. So it's been a long process.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell I'm a lawyer, and as the law goes, your appeals for death row cases, those can go on and on and on. But for cases where it's like this, they really don't hear appeals unless there's new evidence. And he really doesn't have any new evidence. It's just rehashing the stuff that's already been presented.
You hear that, Kyle? He's a lawyer. You might want to get his number after the show.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, you want to sue somebody? I'm your guy. Sure.
Yeah.
I'm like Ben Affleck in Daredevil.
Except you're not blind.
He might be.
Yeah, except I'm not blind. I just kick people with the balls.
That's your superpower, kicking people in the balls. Oh man!
I can use my foot of the law, whichever way you like.
You want your left one or the right one kicked?
Would you like it more of the top of the foot or a little bit of toe in it?
Get that sweet spot.
Oh man!
So it sounds like Marvel's gonna move forward with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and eventually they have a potential working title. It's
You get a director instead.
well, they're eyeing a female director. They're looking for a female director to direct the third one.
Oh, that's not gonna be funny then.
And
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You might be the one that needs the lawyer, Jose.
I'm just kidding.
So it was intended to be the final chapter in James Gunn's trilogy. The future of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was thrown into doubt in August when the studio indefinitely delayed the film. But a new listing indicates Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 has acquired a working title as it remains in a holding pattern, and the working title is Hot Christmas.
What?
So I think it means it's probably going to end up coming out sometime more towards Christmas of, I'm going to say 2020.
Wow.
Oh.
Well, this is contrast. It has contrasting or contradictory releases because Marvel also released a revised movie schedule, and one of the releases they had for 2020 is now off that release schedule.
Yep.
And some people are thinking that that's the Guardians 3 release.
It could be. I mean, they pulled it and shelved it, but like you said, but they were expecting it to start shooting soon. I mean, it could be potentially even to 2021, but who knows?
Doesn't bode well.
Yeah, who knows what they're gonna do with that?
Well, I hope they get it worked out because it's a great series and the characters are really great too.
I think they should leave it at 2, and now they're gonna be closing on the Fox deal, and apparently they're saying now that it's almost confirmed that Dark Phoenix is gonna be the first movie released from Fox under the Disney brand. So that's gonna be considered a Disney Marvel movie, but they need to focus on rebooting the X-Men and focus on rebooting Fantastic Four and just kind of leave Guardians where they are.
Yes.
I mean, with Avengers or Infinity Wars, that's probably the best way to end it, I guess, for them.
Let Dave Bautista go be Bane in James Gunn's Suicide Squad sequel.
Yeah.
And if he stands still enough, we won't even be able to see it. It'd be a great Bane.
Wouldn't it be funny if all the Guardians of the Galaxy guys or people actually did Suicide Squad? Like they all just transferred to the Suicide Squad?
Yes.
That'd be
them.
pretty funny.
How do you cast the raccoon?
He can be
The Joker.
He can be Harley. He can be Harley.
No, you could make him Crypto. Crypto could join the Suicide Squad.
A raccoon wearing a dog suit.
Yep.
With a cape.
With a cape.
How awesome would that be? I get to fly now. I want that leg.
Oh, I'm getting that on.
Or, since Enchantress likes to take people's body, he can be the new Enchantress.
There you go.
And they can still not
Oh,
use the
man.
Soul Eater on him.
Yeah, still leave the freaking soul sword at home.
Going back to that though, like they used the Soul Eater more in her appearance in the Arrow show than they did in Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
They actually used it to bring people back to life in the Arrow show, and like they don't even do that at all in that movie, which is it's. I don't know. It seems like the CW shows, the Arrowverse shows, are more put together and better thought out than these movies are.
You know what's more thought out than Suicide Squad is Kung Fu Panda.
Or Kung Fu Hustle.
Kung Fu Hustle?
Or Kung Pao.
Kung Pao.
The Room was a more thought out movie.
Yeah, right?
Oof.
Tommy
And
Wiseau thought it out more than Suicide Squad.
He was so scatterbrained when he made that movie.
He's still
Jeez.
scatterbrained.
Right?
But like, and it's interesting now. Like they were saying that they would never bring some of these characters to the Arrowverse show, and it's kind of concerning that you're hearing about, you know, Henry Cavill not playing Superman anymore, and Ben Affleck not playing Batman anymore, and they're moving on from them. But now you're seeing these characters show up in the Arrowverse. You've had Superman on there already, and he's coming back for their crossover this year. Now they're bringing Lex Luthor into Supergirl, and there's rumors that Batman might show up at some point. You're getting Batwoman coming to the CW. Like the CW's version of the Justice League is a much better Justice League than what you actually got from the real Justice League on the big screen.
Yeah.
The one on the big screen it felt like they just put them together just really quickly. Hey, who's available? Put them together. And the show is actually like building up to it.
Well, it looks like they had more freedom in the CW shows too. Like, you know, I mean, it looks like in the CW they can do a little bit more of what they want. And like you said, they have a little time more time to build up to it.
Yeah,
in the movies. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, that's all I want to say. I had enough time.
Yeah, I feel like the problem with the Justice League DC movies is that it's not the casting. You know, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman is pitch perfect. You've got Jason Momoa as Aquaman. I mean, he's so perfect for that role. The Flash, he was really good as comic relief and also this kind of scatterbrained guy. And Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck for all of the haters that are out there, I think they did a pretty good job in their roles too. But the writing and the constant need for blue and orange camera filters, it's just like it weighs the whole thing down, and you can't get any story done when you're so worried about camera filters.
Yeah, you're right. It's. I mean, I agree that for the most part, the picking of the actors was good. It's just everything built around it wasn't as good.
The writing and directing, basically.
Could have been better. Almost like they, like it's too micromanaged is what it almost seems like. Yeah,
that's absolutely true. Warner Brothers came down with a mandate that no superhero movies could be longer than 2 hours. After Zack Snyder left the project, they told Joss Whedon he couldn't make it longer than 2 hours.
Well, that's dumb.
Yeah.
You need at least 2 hours and 34 minutes to get your point across.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know. I had hopes for those movies and I always did, and I mean, yeah, Tim just said in the chat best. It says Batman v Superman was horrible, but it gave us the Batman we all wanted. Then Justice League ruined him.
Your mom's name's Martha. My mom's name's Martha.
Martha.
Yeah.
We just become best friends.
Yeah. We should do karate in the basement.
And then we should do goggles.
Now there's an idea. Let's have Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly play Batman and Superman.
Yeah, they shouldn't be playing Sherlock.
Yeah, have you
Play
seen
Batman.
the trailer for their new movie Sherlock? I don't want that movie. I want Step Brothers 2 already.
Right.
Super Brothers.
Yeah.
Step Brothers 2, Dawn of Justice.
They should be they should make a Wonder Twins movie where they're the Wonder Twins.
Oh my god. Oh god. That would be
John
funny.
C. Reilly and Will Ferrell as the Wonder Twins.
Well, let's make a call. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, that's a movie I'd get behind right there.
Let's round
So,
up.
so now what you need to do, Sam, is you need to write something so that it gets out there. Since you have this will be your second time striking fire. So
Yeah, there you go. I just gave you your idea to strike.
There we go.
Lightning strike twice.
Matt
There we
has
go.
helped you be a muse, and now you get to now you can use that and flourish.
I'm an
Yeah, I'll give you.
idea
I'll give you
machine.
full credit. Unlike the Pixar villain.
There you go. I'm an idea machine, and you can have that one for free.
Oh, thank you, sir.
You don't have to steal it. You can have that one for free.
On the house.
It's on the house. I won't even put that one on your tab.
Thanks, guys.
But now that I know you're a lawyer, next one I'm charging. Oh man.
Yeah, to write up the paperwork.
Yeah. Hey, here's a question for you. With the you guys mentioned the Lex Luthor for Supergirl. Who are you casting as Lex Luthor?
I want him to bring back the guy who did it in Smallville.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Michael Rosenbaum.
Yeah.
He was good.
He's such a cool guy.
Yeah.
In 2017, he came to Phoenix Comic Con. I don't know if you guys saw his panel.
No, I didn't go to it.
You know how most of these celebrities, they sit up on their stage and they talk on the microphone, and they're so disengaged from the fans. Michael Rosenbaum jumped off the little platform, and he came down and he put his arm around every single person who asked him a question. And after every question, he would go make fun of this guy dressed as Thor in the front row. And it was like a freaking party. Like I would have bought whatever that guy was selling, because he was like in your face, and he was freaking awesome in that panel. He did say that he does feel like he's too old to do that role full time. I would love for him to do a lot more, but he is right. Most of the cast is in their early 30s, and he's in his 40s, so I don't think he's in the right age frame, unfortunately. But yeah, I think he would be great.
Well, with Supergirl, his sister's a lot younger, so I think you have to cast someone younger than that as Lex Luthor. But
all right, I got one for you. Let's see what you guys think of this. Now, I know it's gonna sound crazy. I know it sounds crazy, but sometimes you just got to do it. You can't let your dreams be dreams.
Just do it.
Shia LaBeouf. Let's say Shia LaBeouf is Lex Luthor.
that's right up there with what's his face from? God damn, I can't think of his name now. The kid who did him in Justice League or in Batman Superman.
Oh, the guy who's in who's the magician guy
I can't believe I forgot his name.
Jesse
Eisenberg.
Yeah. I think he's a little too involved.
Too crazy.
Shia LaBeouf. Yeah. Shia LaBeouf's a little too involved in his methods to play Lex Luthor, I think.
Yeah, I think he is. But did you guys ever see that video? It's like a song, and it's like actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf. You guys ever seen that one?
The one where he's at like the lake or something.
Well, it's like this guy's telling a story about he's walking in the woods, and suddenly you turn around, and there he is, Hollywood superstar Shia LaBeouf, and he's chasing you through the woods, and he's trying to kill you because he's an actual cannibal. And you get caught in a bear trap, and you have to gnaw through your stump leg to get away from Shia LaBeouf. And then at the very end, like they do this live version, and they have all these like dancers with giant Shia LaBeouf heads dancing on stage. And at the very end, it pans to the audience, and there's one guy in the whole theater, and he's clapping as hard as he can. And the spotlight shines on him, and it's Shia LaBeouf.
He's clapping at himself. Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to freaking eat you.
Yeah, he's a little weird, man. He gets too
A little?
involved in it. Well, like, there's that, what was that movie he was in? The war movie with the tanks.
Holes.
No, it wasn't a hole.
What?
He was doing a war movie like 2 years
With Brad
ago.
Pitt, right?
Right, with
Brad
Brad
Pitt?
Pitt.
Oh yeah.
His character was missing a tooth. So instead of just letting him black out a tooth, he actually pulled out his own tooth.
That's
Gee.
dumb.
He's like very method. He goes into it way too hard.
Yeah, I heard something. I heard something about him, like sitting in an empty studio, an empty art studio in L.A. with a bag on his head, and people could come in and just stare at him and talk to him, whatever. But he would just sit in there with a bag on his head, and you could take the bag off, and he would just sit in there crying. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is with this guy? But when you think about Lex Luthor, he's like stoic, but he's also manic. And it's those combination of both those things that I think Shia LaBeouf could actually hit tonally. And yeah, he's a little off. He's really, I mean, a little is being generous, but he's really weird. That's for sure. But I think he has the chops to make it happen. Now, is he going to be my first choice? No, but it's kind of an off the wall pick, just to kind of goof around with, maybe just toy with that idea for a little bit.
I would have loved to go to like his movie when he was showing his movie. Actually go in there and watch his movies from his most current to his first with him in the theater. I think that would have been interesting.
Yeah, there's that video of him watching his own movies, and he's like hating all of it. He hated all of them, didn't he?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, the name of the movie was Fury. Thank you, Tim. The name of the movie was Fury.
Yeah, that's right. Furry.
I'd hate to see a role where he loses his arm.
Yeah, don't cast him in my version of In Time.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to play Justin Timberlake's dad in your version In Time. There you go.
Oh man,
That's because he'll actually cut his own fucking
Yep.
arm off.
and he'll do it on screen so you can see the look of pain in his face, and they don't have to pay for the extra blood.
Okay, we only got one chance. We got to do it in one take. Here we go.
Lance in the chat. Bald Timothy Oliphant gets my vote as Lex. Wasn't that he was in The Girl Next Door? He played the porn producer in The Girl Next Door.
Oh, that dude's an awesome actor.
And he was in Justified too.
Yeah, he's kind of a dick in there. He was in that show Las Vegas too.
Yeah, and he's the husband in that Netflix show Santa Clara Diet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And that one.
But his greatest role of all time was when he played himself in The Grinder.
Yeah.
Well, get Kevin Spacey to do it again.
I would
With
like
all
to
the shit
see,
that we've heard.
I mean, I would like to see Bryan Cranston do it, but I think you're gonna get a very Walter White vibe from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you got to stick with someone who's in their 30s because the rest of the cast is the same age.
Yeah, because I would say like the dude from that plays Merlin in Kingsman. He was also the motherfucker's dad in Kick-Ass.
Oh, Mark Strong.
Yes.
Yeah, he has a perfect villain's face, perfect villain's voice. He was in Sherlock Holmes, the first Sherlock Holmes movie with Robert Downey Jr., and he was the villain in that, and he was really good. But again, I think he's too old. I mean, what do you guys think of other like CW people who maybe aren't in any active shows and whose name isn't Amel?
Yeah, right. I'm trying to think of like a younger actor that could do it.
Zac Efron.
No.
Zac
He's too
Efron.
goofy. He's too goofy.
Yeah, I don't think Zac Efron.
He could be serious. Or the kid who played the lightning bolt thief.
Percy Jackson?
Yes.
Percy Jackson.
I think with my CW budget mind, I was thinking one of those guys from Vampire Diaries.
Oh, they should have what's his name? Jensen Ackles do it from Supernatural.
Yeah, he was on Smallville, right? He started on Smallville, I thought.
Was he?
Yeah, he was like a PE coach in Smallville. And he had this like forbidden romance with Superman's girlfriend.
Lana.
Yes.
What happened to that girl? She just like fell off the earth.
Well, I think she's trying to stay out of the cult prosecution against Allison Mack.
Yeah, right. God,
She's in witness protection.
talk about how do you go from a hit TV show to running in a cult? Who knows?
A sex cult, by the way.
Or at least they were having fun.
That's true.
She did a Euro trip and probably died. That's what Lance said.
She did the Euro trip. That's true.
With Matt Damon?
Yeah, she was Scotty's girlfriend.
Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know.
Don't tell Scotty.
How about what do you think of the movie Tiptoes?
Tiptoes?
Yes. Do you know what that is?
No, I don't know what that is.
It's a movie with Gary Oldman plays a midget.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! And it's got Kate Beckinsale and and Peter Dinklage. Oh my gosh!
It's funny that a non dwarf plays a dwarf with Peter Dinklage in it.
Oh, you know who would be a good fit for Lex Luthor?
Who's that?
You watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
He the dude who played Ramsay Bolton in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name.
Yep.
Ian or it's something Rowan, I think. Ewan Rowan or Ian Rowan or something like that. I think he would make a good Lex Luthor. He was in the British TV show The Misfits too.
That's right. Yeah, he'd be a good one.
I mean, he's only 31, so he's kind of right around that age. Like Amel's got to be in his 30s. So
yeah, I think he's 35.
Around that good age.
Yeah. I think that's it, man. I think we've got a winner.
Jon Snow himself should play Lex Luthor. I think that would be a perfect Lex Luthor.
Boom.
That was easy.
It wasn't that easy, but I was just thinking of like villainous and who could pull it off.
All right, I just sent the email to Hollywood.
There you go.
All you got to do is get George Takei to fucking post it.
Was it on your legal with your legal letterhead so we know that they know that's serious?
Yeah, it's like triple notarized.
There you go.
Legal letterhead. Yeah, my bill's in the mail.
You have a bone-colored business card to go with it?
It's got a shark printed on the front.
Bing, bing, bing. We got a winner.
There it is. He did it.
All right.
He did it.
He did it.
Get the prize.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Yes, sir. Well, it's been a fun episode. You guys got anything else you want to talk about tonight?
I mean, I can't top fucking kicking someone in the balls and,
Exactly.
and Wolverine mentioning something that you wrote. I mean, I'm at a loss for words.
Yes, my life feels inadequate at this point now.
I know I'm gonna mope around for the next week now.
He's like,
Hey.
how long have you guys been doing this? Oh, 5 years. Yeah, we have 380 some episodes. Oh man, that's really cool. But have you ever had Hugh Jackman read something you wrote on stage at the SAG Awards? Have you ever
Horse in
kicked
the
somebody
balls.
in the balls before running the American Ninja Warrior course? No? Yeah, you ain't done shit.
Yeah, you guys fucking suck.
Hey, come on. It's not like that. It's not a contest. It's not a contest at all.
It is a
I mean,
I'd say that too if I was the winner.
Yeah. It is a contest, and you're taking home gold, bronze, and silver.
Oh,
We're not-
thanks, man. No.
We don't even get a participation ribbon. So
Oh, man. I guess I won't talk about the time that I tried out for NASA.
Oh no! Now you got to.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, this will make you feel better, I guess. So in 2011, NASA put out a call for people to join the space program. And
Were
in
you
order to
one of those
qualify,
people to just lay in bed like 30 hours at a slight incline?
yeah, I mean that's basically you're just floating in space. But the qualification was you had to have a math degree, and I happen to have a math degree, so I put in. And they were like, "Thanks for your application, and we'll get back to you." And so for 3 months' time, I was in the running for the space program. And then after 3 months, they sent me a letter on official NASA letterhead. We're talking about letterhead, an official NASA letterhead that says I am not qualified to go into space.
Oh.
That's more than you get for most jobs today. So
That's
I'll
true.
take that.
That's very true.
hey, City of Glendale sent me a really nice official letter that says, "Please stop applying for jobs for 3 years," which has now recently expired. So I'm allowed to.
You
I'm
need
allowed
get a
to apply
Yeah,
again.
you got to apply again and get a new.
It was nice though.
3 years.
They sent me a registered letter. It was the nicest paper I've ever touched.
That's where the old money is.
And it had, right? And it had fucking like the City of Glendale. The top was all like, it wasn't just like
Bedazzled.
printed on. Yeah, it was like rough, and you could like if you were blind and it wouldn't need to be Braille because you could feel the letters that well.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it was all typed out. Thank you for continuously applying for jobs, but
But we don't fucking want you.
please stop for the next. You are not allowed to apply for the next 3 years.
You got banned?
Yeah. I'd applied for so many jobs. I just got tired of seeing my resume, which
Wow.
wasn't the effect I was hoping for. I was hoping for the other effect. Hey, like we feel like we know Kyle. Let's hire him.
Yeah.
That's what you're hoping for.
Yeah, it was the opposite. I got it somewhere. I have it with like my diplomas and my certificates of completion and
They
stuff.
just have a big ass thick file of that just says Kyle Stinson resumes.
And they have a picture of me and they throw darts at it.
Man, you got to frame that. You got to frame that picture or frame that letter.
Right? I took it as an accomplishment.
That's right. You're famous.
I'm in the City of Glendale in the
I may
in
not
the, in
got
the
hired
HR
by the
department.
city of Glendale, but check out the sweet ass paper.
Right? Wow, they spare no expense.
Yeah, it says Lance in the chat says Houston needs a guy like you and Kyle to reignite the space program.
Oh, I'd be an awesome astronaut.
First thing we do is we line everyone up and we kick them in the balls.
Gotta see how tough they are.
Then we take 3 shots of whiskey and do it again.
Yeah. They need to do a thing where the effects of drunkenness in space so that I could be a part of it.
The
Whiskey
effect
in
of
That's right. And
space.
they need to film it and put it on YouTube.
Whiskey in space.
Yeah. They need to see the effects of getting hit in the nuts in space too. So there you go. You two are like the perfect combo.
You just keep floating.
Just keep floating.
When you get kicked in the balls in space, do your nuts actually stay up, ascended into your testicle or into your nutsack, or do they come back down? This is science we need to know.
In space, no one can hear your balls drop.
Yeah. This is science nobody knew they needed. And now you want it.
It'd be kind of awesome, though, if they could just make it so you don't need the spacesuit, but you have the helmet on, and then they're kicking you in the balls. Because that would make the effect right. You got to have the space helmet on to make it real.
That's right. It has to be official, man.
Yeah.
And I want like a tiny like GoPro in the undercarriage so you can see like they make contact and like the nuts ascend to see if they just stay there or come back down.
Film it so it doesn't slow motion.
Yeah.
So you see like the balls ripple as it gets kicked.
I just want to see like, oh, and him like float away backwards in pain.
With the music from 2001 Space Odyssey.
Yeah. Lance says Kyle floating through space, sucking whiskey balls through a straw.
Hey, I can do that for mankind. One small step.
Right.
One giant kick in the balls.
One shot of whiskey.
That's right, Tim. A space dong cam. We need to make it happen. I need to know that if you get hit in the nuts in space, do your testicles stay ascended or do they descend?
The ideas we've come up with on this episode. We've accomplished a lot.
We've done a lot. I think we ought to call it on a high note.
That's a think tank right there. That's a think tank episode.
Oh yeah, we did it. We fucking, you know what? A couple more episodes, and I think we can figure some real shit out.
There you go. We can figure out the meaning to life. Well, I guess that'll do it for this week's episode. I want to make one announcement, though. I want to thank everyone for checking us out on YouTube tonight and hanging out with us and being active in the chat. And just for that, we're going to do a little bit of contest. To enter this contest, all you have to do is make sure that you are subscribed to us on YouTube. Like and share us, or like and share any of the episodes we post on our social media, and you'll be entered to win a free digital copy of Avengers Infinity War. We will pick one winner at random.
I'm gonna start sharing right now.
There you go. We will announce the winner in 2 weeks. We will give you guys 2 weeks to participate. So that'll be...
Remember the Walking Dead one, too.
That'll be November 2nd. On November 2nd, we'll announce the winner. So, yeah, all you got to do is like, subscribe, and share the episodes, and you're entered to win a free digital copy of Avengers Infinity War.
Except Lance, he can't win.
Yeah, except Lance. You can't win, Lance. So that's pretty exciting. Kyle's just, stopping people from being able to win right there. He's just like, yo, you're shut down.
I make the fucking rules here.
I don't know. Lance has access to a lawyer now. He might sue you.
I take it back, Lance. You can win.
You better watch out. But yeah, I want to thank everyone on YouTube for hanging out tonight. It's been a lot of fun. If this is your first time watching us, make sure to like and subscribe and share, of course.
So you can enter the drawing.
If you, leave us a comment. If you listen to us on any of your favorite podcasting platforms, please remember to leave us a review. That helps us tremendously. And again, I want to thank Sam, the movie mechanic, for joining us. Before we go, Sam, why don't you go ahead and let everyone know where they can find your articles and find you and just say, hey, I want you to kick me in the balls or whatever they're going to say. Or give you some ideas for movies to do a movie mechanic on or whatever. Yeah,
I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm on couchcrunchers.com. I'm also on Twitter, Sam Richardson on Twitter, not to be confused with the actor. And also on Reddit as Straw Hat MML. So don't look up any of those crazy posts, but you can find my stuff on Reddit as well.
Don't hit him up for legal advice. Unless you're going to pay him. Don't be that guy. Kyle.
What?
But yeah, that'll do it for this week's episode. I'm Matt, and that failed. Way to go, guys!
You keep cutting out.
Oh, I said that'll do it for this week's episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Jose.
And thanks for having me on, Sam.
All right, and we will see you next time.